Greetings, YouTube. It is I, Sakarma, coming with a quick battle from Total Brohammer here. A little 1v1 action against myself, heading to Bretonnia against Illegitimate as the Greenskins. I've played this guy several times before, I think, in the past, so good to see him around again. I think in Warhammer 1 even. But, yeah, as you can see, Sakarma has totally descended into madness and brought what is probably, I would argue, the worst unit in the game. Hippogriff Knights. Royal Hippogriff Knights. Who are literally good at nothing. So let's do a real quick, as you can see this battle's super long, so actually, maybe I'll speed it up, but yeah, because we don't want to be on here forever. But, well, actually, let's better slow it down, why not? What else do we have to do, right? We're gamers, bro, we don't have lives. Let's do this. Anyways, fuck, come on, show me. So let's look at their stats. 80 armor, pretty mediocre. 80 leadership, meh. 90 speed, meh. 40 for a flying unit, meh. 46 melee attack, meh. 34 melee defense, meh. Decent stats overall. 135 armor piercing, not special. 50 charge bonus. The only thing they have living saints. Oh, blessing the ladies. They have 20% physical. That's pretty interesting. But other than that, they don't even have living saints. None of that garbage. They cause terror, fine. No bonuses for anything. And they cost a whopping 2,000 spend. So not really effective at anything. Pretty mediocre overall. Very easy to kill, very easy to shoot, huge models, and as you'll see, they get caught on infantry. So yeah, just an awful, awful unit. But again, Sakarma has fully descended into the chaos of the warp of madness. This is a chaos Mark of Slanesh Bretonnia army, where we just wanted to go truly excessive with the worst unit in the game, in my opinion. So my opponent here, so what else did I bring? Just real quick, we'll run down it. So I brought Luan the Uncurved, Blessing the Lady, all that stuff, or whatever it's called, Bretonnia's Blessed Son, or whatever. What's that ability called? The one where if he's losing, everything goes well. The Lady's Champion, that's the one. Got Beloved Son of Bretonnia, all that shit, sort of Corone, good stuff. Over here, I have a Grail Knight. He has more Marauders on that flank. I have another Knights of the Realm over here. A couple of Archers, probably Pox Arrows, of course. Life Magic, with Dwellers Below and Earthblood. 3 units of Battle Pilgrims, chevroned up. Just because I had some extra spend, and they actually do okay if you chevron them. Some Spearmen at Arms with shields, 4 of them. I don't think I chevroned them up. No, I did not. And then 3 peasants, just to muck it up. Or 4 peasants, rather. So the peasants will take the bludgeoning axes of the Black Orcs, while everything else sort of works. And my opponent has a very strange formation. Not sure why he's this tight. But yeah, I brought Luan here. I knew this could be his full army. I saw this, and I was like, okay, so there's got to be some archers, and of course there are. And then these guys, also the nasty skulkers. Again, I don't mind Luan taking some shots because he does heal. And I guess Azhag might even take an arrow or 2 because he's in the way. I don't know if he took any damage there. That doesn't look like he did. He gets a Spirit Leech. Again, I don't mind that. Better there than fit up unting these Grail Knights. And actually, now that I think about it, my build was going to get fucked. I forgot about Azhag, pardon me. And if he had brought a couple of Fate of Bunas, I mean, one on the Grail Knight, the other one on the other Knight, game over. That's all I had to do, really, my opponent, to win this battle. A couple of Fate of Bunas, so that was no good. But anyways, I'll speed it up here while we get into position. We're chasing these Morgan Rings Marauders. I send Luan to get rid of them just because they're going to do a lot of damage to my Cav, and I don't really have a place for him in this battle because of these Archer units, so until I get into position, I don't mind warding them off, and all damage he takes can be healed, so I don't mind that. So he brings these a couple Goblin Big Bosses in here, 3 Black Orcs, a couple of Biggins, which are a good unit, which are a bad unit in this game. They were really good in game 1. They're pretty bad in game 2, but they are effective against Bretonnia because Bretonnia's infantry is so shit. He sends these guys after my Life Wizard, I assume, so I just muck them up with some peasants, and this is a great engagement for peasants because they're not going to do that much damage, but they are going to slow them down. And then I send my archers in there. Luan does eventually catch some more regular marauders. I'm hoping they'll just rout off the field and get rid of them. That'd be good for me. Over here we engage in the front line. I send these peasants just to muck them up because I want to get around to their underbelly here. So I send peasants in to hold up the Black Orcs, and I start sending these guys around to fight them. I am going to start activating them soon. Over here I get a nice Dwellers Below, which is going to be huge for me. And I'm just sacrificing peasants, which is perfect. So this Dwellers Below just does a lot of damage. They're poisoned, so it's going to be hard for them to run. Their speed is going to be like something like 9 speed, so they're going to be stuck in there. I send the Battle Pilgrims in to hold them down some more, and it's just doing so much damage. Yeah, so that was a nice cast on my part, if I do say so myself. Did about half damage to both these Black Orcs. Over here, he's still trying to get my Life Wizard, but I have my Grail Knights in the back. I just want to get rid of these guys. He does cast Fate of Buna on these units, but as you can see, look, they get a nice rear charge in against units that they should be able to just decimate. And it was such a weak charge. Such a flaccid charge. Look at that, like almost no damage. They're in there fighting. They're doing virtually nothing. A little bit now, I guess. But they're dying so quickly between the Fate of Buna and the shooting. So I fly them out of there, but they get stuck. Look at them. They can't move. They can't get out. They're like cav units. They're worse than cav units. And then, of course, when they get stuck, even the ones in the air have to stick around, like Pegasus Knights. So they're just sitting there. As he has his firing squad, just take him down. and they're taking damage as they're trying to pull out, and they can't do it. Look at them. They're doing a little silly dance. Over here, I've caught their, whatever, their big boss is with this blob. They're going to die. Luan is still chasing these ranged marauders. I probably could have used him better, but whatever. Royal Hippogriff Knights over here. I'm just afraid of them killing my cav. I get a nice heal on these guys because, you know, they're so important to my army. But, yeah. Over here, I'm still trying to get his ranged marauders. He does catch my Knights of the Realm and get them stuck for 2 seconds, and that's all it takes for these guys to take them down. And I'm trying to pull them through, but they're going to die. That's just such an effective firing squad. But I've been trying to tell these guys to attack those guys for, you know, many moons now, but they still can't get out. They still can't get out. They just keep getting stuck. They're just such a bad unit. I send the Damsel of Life over here to help keep these peasants down. I am shooting Azhag. Why not? Doesn't have the greatest armor. Luan, I should have been, at this point, you know, forget about these guys. I don't have that much ammo left, and my cav is almost already dead. I bring these Grail Knights around, and I am charging. Finally, the Hippogriff Knights are free. I think they're down a model. No, they're not. They finally get in, and just look at this flaccid charge on archers. Look at that. Oh, terrible. And they're actually taking so much damage. I don't know what they're losing to. They do have cool animations, but look at that. They're barely doing anything. It's disgusting. It's frankly disgusting. The peasants are going to be more effective. And this is a 2,000 unit. If that was a Terrorgeist, these units would have been dead by now. And it's healing. And Terrorgeists have healing. And they would be able to kill Azhag. But look at them. They're losing to fucking Rusty Heirs. There's nothing else fighting them right now. The Black Orcs are here fighting those guys. They get Fate of Bunad, and then he's going to come in and he's going to put them to death. Azhag is going to kill them. So Hippogriff Knights, worst unit in the game by far, in my opinion. Garbage unit. The Fate of Bunad is huge on those guys. Going to do a lot of damage. Hopefully don't lose too many models. They still have 42, so that's huge. They get a nice charge in there, and I realize, okay, my Hippogriff Knights have fallen. The good thing is they did tear out a bunch of these guys, but that does nothing because they're not far enough and there's nothing to follow it up with. Over here, I finally get rid of these Ranged Marauders. They're off the field. That's huge for me. Luan still is not near his healing cap. The Biggins have warded off pretty much all my units. I have peasants everywhere. The peasant mob here supporting King Luan, but he is near his healing cap. I think at this point he's got to be close. I can't see it there, but we'll look later. I get a nice rear charge in with Luan, but I was like, forget it. You know what? I got to get rid of these guys. They are killing my Grail Knights really quickly, so I'm running them away. Over here, the Battle Pilgrims are doing well against these Black Orcs, which I'm okay with. He has this one Goblin Big Blast running around the back line. I don't mind that. Over here, I'm trying to fight and using the help of the Damsel of Life, do some damage. It's not doing the best. I don't know what these guys are doing. Oh, I'm trying to get them to counter snipe. These guys did come back, and I'm trying to get them to rout off these nasty Skulkers. We'll see how they do. And they do. So they did an effective job against a 500 unit that's not meant to fight them. I do bring Luan over here and get a nice charge in here and get, just going to crush them. And then finally these Pox Arrows are online, so just doing tons of damage. Look how well the Pox Arrows did. These fucking peasants with pieces of wood and shitty arrows that they probably built out of, like, I don't know, wood chips are doing far more effective than these fucking lame-ass Hippogriff Knights. Giant pussies. Anyways, so, yeah, so we're doing well in here. I don't mind this fight. Azhag's not going to do that much damage. I have Sword of Chrome popped, and I have healing. Azhag does not, so all the damage he takes is permanent. And then I get these guys to come in, and of course, ooh, yeah, wonderful charge. They're able to, you know, put the final rout into these guys, and then Azhag's in a bad place right now. So we start routing these guys. These Grail Knights are taking a lot of damage, and they're going to be huge for me in the end of the game, so I have to keep them alive. Over here, these guys have been fighting this Goblin boss forever. I don't know why it's taking them so long, but I don't really mind. The engagement is going well for me over here. Problem is, he does have this giant blob of infantry he's forgotten about in the corner, and he has these Black Orcs left, and we're trying to run away because I need my archers. I cast an Earthblood on the Royal Hippogriff Knights, which is the biggest mistake of the game. I should have cast it on these Grail Knights because they're far more effective. The Hippogriff Knights suck. It doesn't even do that much healing because there's so few units. So yeah, that was probably my biggest mistake, was trying to heal these guys because they are just awful. We do get Azhag here stuck in. I send Luan to get a nice charge on him. Again, all damage that Azhag takes is permanent. Luan is near his healing cap, but not quite there. The Hippogriff Knights just go down so quickly because of their garbage. As I've been saying this whole game, I try and pull them out, but of course they're stuck in there and they're never going to leave. But we are getting damage on Azhag, so I don't mind that. The Black Orcs are still following these guys. I'm trying to run them away. I want to keep them alive. And actually I don't mind that, because if I can kill Azhag, I can just cycle charge to the end of the game if I need to. The Hippogriff Knights do rout. That's, you know, bad news. He has his Goblin Firing Squad, which is giant. But I bring on the Damsel of Life. I bring these guys back. These guys I forget to activate, but I'll bring them in a second. And I get a nice charge in. And look at that damage that Luan does. 1 unit model on a Griffin just does so much more damage. And we're able to rout them. Azhag's going to come in here and try and get a charge on the Damsel of Life, which is fine. She's almost out of magic anyways. I'm going to prevent these Black Orcs from joining the fight by getting a nice charge on the back. Doesn't do that much damage, but does slow them down. Over here, I cast an Earthblood, or he has a Wah on, which is really good. But I do get my Grail Knights in there, and the Wah is actually going to help him be even against Luan. But with these Grail Knights, he's taking so much damage, and it's just looking so good for me at this point. But he's able to just wiggle out. Look how easily Azag wiggles out versus those Hippogriff Knights. It's insane. But we're both in the air, which is fine by me. So I do start chasing him with Luan, and like one charge is going to do it, and he gets him in a charge, and it doesn't quite tear out him or anything, or even hit him, and he gets so foe seeker, and Azag's quite fast. He's got like 137 on there, so yeah, he's gone. I'm moving these guys away from these black orcs. These guys, I want to finish them off, make sure they don't come back, so I'm going to charge out. Over here, he still has a ton of infantry. I have some peasants. I have these units, and some of these are battle prone, so those are pretty effective infantry. He does cast, I think, Spirit Leech on me. Yeah, and Luan's so close to death right now, so it's actually very, very close. Luckily, these rush arrows do route off the field. He is taking so much damage on Luan. If he had charged, I don't know if what would have happened, because he's about double health, but yeah, Azag is very scared. He's running away. His leadership's far lower, and then he just routes. So it's huge for me. And Luan still has some healing. And there Azag goes down, and we can see him fall. Ooh, and he is a broken orc now. And I forget what this guy's name is. Whatever his wyvern's name is. But yeah, so that's the end of Azag. And Luan just flaps over him. Pretty much the Griffin version of teabagging, just showing him, hey, I'm glorious and you're not. He still has some decent healing left. He's going about to that's about a third. His healing cap will take him, so about to 1,300 out of 4,400. That's about a third, I guess. I don't know, a little bit less. So he gets him there, and I get him a nice charge there, and then I follow up with a rear charge of these knights, and does a little bit of damage. I don't want Luan to rout because he's so close to the end of the map, so I need to make sure he probably gets the healing cap. So I pull him back. I pull these guys back. I try and regroup. Over here, he still has this giant mob of units that are coming over here. I send Luan back in for another charge, and I come in again with these Grail Knights. They don't get the best angle on it, but does a little bit of damage, as you can see, and sends them flying back, and I just pull through, or I pull out, rather. Alright, so I pull out. I send this mob over here to fight these Greenskins, or sorry, Biggins, rather. Well, Greenskin Biggins, just to hold them up. I don't want them to engage in this fight. If I can isolate these infantry units, the better for me. My peasant mob is over here. I have some archers over here. And we're going to speed it up just a little bit as everything gets, it's sort of a lot of cycle charging here, moving around. He has his final unit of goblin archers, but they're going to rout, I think. Maybe not. No, they get some shots in, but I bring them in. And the knights just aren't able to pull out fast enough, and they take a lot of damage. So that's it for the knights, but we are able to get these guys out of the field. So as you can see, we're just doing a lot of mobilization. He does have a very healthy unit of black orcs, very healthy unit of biggins, who do have that bonus versus large, and already super high, but attack values. But I'm able to get in here with Luan Liankur. I'm hoping these guys will rout, or at least terrify. Oh, they're immune to psychology, so they won't tear rout. But I am hoping they'll rout, but they don't quite. And they get a nice, they get some more damage on Luan. I should have probably pulled them out earlier. The knights do come back, but I have no more healing. He gets a nice rear charge on me over here, so that unit crumbles, or that pocket crumbles rather. The peasant mob, the peasants are doing a glorious charge downhill. Look at them with their pitchforks. Yeah, these brave peasants, these massive. Well, goblins they'll do okay against, but against these giant orc biggins, and I think there's black orcs in here. So yeah, this is going to end poorly for these poor Bretonnians. But that's their job. They're to die for the king, and they will fulfill it well. Over here, I get a Sword of Corone. I get Luan here. Get some recharge, and these guys aren't immune to psychology. So the more I can get damage on them from rear charges and stuff like that, the better. My archers have both come back, and they're going to start firing in, and they have no shields, and their armor is pretty weak, actually, only at 50. So this is huge. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. As you can see, each volley is pretty devastating. And I bring in Luan. He still has the Sword of Quran, so I wanted to make sure I take advantage of it. I get a nice rear charge in there. Does a lot of damage. I bring these Grail Knights in to follow it up, and I'm hoping just for terror routes. I'm hoping to try and push their units. They have the advantage on the balance bar, but it's not quite enough. He does get these Biggins in here for a rear charge. That just wipes out my Grail Knights, but they died valiantly. And then all my infantry is dead except for these units who have recovered. Over here I have the Damsel, and Luan is super low at 455, so it's just not looking good. And he has a very healthy unit of Black Orcs. But I do have these archers, and they are going to be able to. The archers will be able to get rid of these Biggins. So I'm just trying to pin them down with the ladies so they can get some shots, and I'm going to use him to pin down these Black Orcs. But I think better of it. I think let's get rid of this pocket over here. I don't mind if we chase them because they're gathered on the ladies. They're not paying attention to Luan, so they're going to take some damage, and they might tear her out at the slightest thing. And he turns the Black Orcs around, which I think actually was the smart move because he was about to lose his pocket. And the Black Orcs are really threatening to Luan Kerr. I do take a lot of damage on the lady, but I am able to rout both these Biggins. I send these spears in as, again, a sacrificial force to hold these Black Orcs. A lot of this Bretonnian battle is just me sacrificing these poor units. And then I start firing into the back of these Black Orcs. It won't do that much damage because their armor's so high, but it does a little bit, and it lowers their stats, so at least these spearmen will hold out longer. I send these battle programs to chase off these units because I don't want them coming back. These guys are shattered, so I use her to attack the other unit. I bring in a rear charge, and that's pretty much going to be the rest of the game. I'll just speed it up here. So it's just me chasing off units. as I try and get rid of him. I think he has some units that recovered. No. I don't know why the balance bar is so even. It's clearly in my favor at this point. I mean, he only has goblins fighting, these brave gobos. But yeah, he just keeps charging them. So we just run these guys off the field. I try and get rid of these black orcs. I don't really mind these gobos chasing off my archers. Big deal. They'll melt everything. I finally get rid of these black orcs. These brave black orcs. And again, I don't know why it's so even. I guess because Luan is so low on health. And I guess technically if he did rout, the gobos could pull it out. But there's a battle pilgrim over here, and they're fairly healthy. And yeah, these are brave gobos. But anyways, as you can see, the final charge of the gobos. They're coming in. It's going to be cataclysmic. This is going to be it. Oh boy. Is it going to be exciting? I leave Luan over there. The gobos, they're just charging. They're charging. Then they're pulling away. A little bit of repositioning. Guys, it's a climactic end here. You're going to see. Huge charge. Ready to come in. Ooh, I'm going to get around for a rear charge. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, the tension. And then these guys just start to rout and break before they even engage. They just see, ooh, there's units over here. We're surrounded. Oh, okay, we're gone. So these brave gobos weren't willing to fight to the end, but they are trudging on the corpses of Grill Knights over there. Look at that. So yeah, look at the battlefield, just littered everywhere. It's actually a fun battle. Anyway, so yeah, that was an interesting little fight. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely should have lost. 128 kills, it says that, but a lot of that's, I don't know, that seems inflated. I don't know. It seems wrong. I don't know where they got those kills. Maybe on the Nasty Skulkers. And they did gain a chevron, so maybe they weren't as bad as they seemed when I was watching them, but so terrible against those black orcs, which are units they should be designed to kill. Because if they're not anti-large, they should be anti-infantry, right? That makes sense, stands to reason. But no, they're just sort of a mediocre, in the middle, betweener. You know, when I used to watch basketball, there was these players, sort of sports it up guys, but there's these players who play, you know, they call them tweeners because they weren't quite one position or the other, and yeah, they were generally awful. Some of them are great, but the vast majority of them are awful just because they don't fill a role, and that's exactly what Royal Hippogriffs are. They don't fill any role. And Pegasus Knights used to be pretty good, now they're garbage, and these guys need a huge buff, and one of the many problems on Bretonnia, but they're actually usable now if you play them right. It's just you're fighting an uphill battle against every faction. And again, had my opponent just come in, fade up unit the Grail Knights, fade up unit the Knights of the Realm, gotten rid of them early on, I would have lost. My biggest mistake, I was chasing those Marauders for far too long with Luan. That was a mistake. I should just let them, you know, run around. Who cares? But then again, I protected my. Who knows what would happen? But still a happy ending for Sakarma. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hippogriffs OP. CA please nerf. And I'll see you guys around the bend.